I think let's kick it off. We have a few attendees that have joined and hopefully a few more join us. But fantastic to have everyone on today's webinar and really exciting to roll out FreeAgent's integration between Syft Analytics and FreeAgent. Been quite a few months in the works and nice to finally have it live, to have some of our accounting and bookkeeping partners connecting some of their clients to Syft. So fantastic to get some utilization and really excited that it did launch in 2023. We've got quite a bit to work through today. I think we'll start off just talking a little bit more around Syft and sort of how we've been working with FreeAgent. So maybe as some introductions just to kick it off. Hello everyone, I'm Vangelis Kyriazis. I'm one of the co-founders here at Syft, and I'll be demoing some of the Syft and FreeAgent integration today.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, then I'll join. So my name is Swantje. I'm head of sales at Syft, but specifically looking after the UK as well. So really love working with the clients over there. And yeah, maybe I'll just join in the story a bit later. But obviously great to have FreeAgent from the UK joining us at Syft. So yeah. Gemma, now it's you.
Yeah, now I'm up. So hi, my name's Gem. I am the practice partnerships consultant over at FreeAgent. So I am working primarily with our integration partners, really looking to expand that offering for our accounting and bookkeeping partners. And yeah, I'm based in London, but we are actually, as a company, based in Scotland. And yeah, that's kind of what I do, just making those partnerships happen a little bit, I guess.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Swantje. So yeah, I guess on that note, we actually based down in South Africa, Swantje and myself in Johannesburg. So a nice collaboration between South Africa and the UK. And yeah, looking forward to driving this out over most of the UK in the coming months. Guys, if you do want to ask questions, please use the chat or the Q&A. I think the chat should be enabled. If not, try the Q&A. We've also got a few polls that will run through the session, but we thought we could start off with a bit of a slideshow, just a background around both Syft and FreeAgent and how we've come together. So a bit of the story. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Perfect. I think it should be up on your side. So let's dive straight in. So just a little bit of background around Syft. We started, and it actually similar to most of you today, it came from an accounting practice down here in South Africa. We were trying to give clients, this is early 2016, we were trying to give our clients reports that made a little bit more sense, help them understand how their business was doing, not just tabular P&L and balance sheet, but a more graphical reporting. So turning those numbers into a graph helped the client see trend and seasonality. And we're doing a lot of it in Excel, but we thought we could do it a lot quicker if we moved it to a software-based integration rather than exporting all that data. We thought let's connect directly to the data sources, bring in the data, and hopefully automate reporting for other accountants and bookkeepers in practice. So we won a few awards in the UK, Accounting Excellence, and this year was that one at the top there, Customer Experience of the Year vendor, so International Accounting Awards. And I know those are maybe some big names, bit of the tier 2 guys, which we do have, but to be honest, our sweet spot is the smaller practices where we're dealing with a few staff and we're helping you automate an internal process of client reporting. So yes, we work with some of the bigger guys, but most of our customer base is the smaller firms of accountants and bookkeepers. Fast forward to today, and we've got around 150,000 entities across the globe connected to Syft, typically in English-speaking markets, all the way from New Zealand through to Canada. We've got a huge focus on the UK, so a dedicated UK team, and that also provides support to the UK from sort of, I would say, very early, to be honest, especially with the clocks moving like 3-4 a.m. up to sort of 10 p.m. UK time during the week. We've got support for our UK customers. Just to talk a little bit around Syft. So Syft is in the reporting and analytics space, but just to talk a little bit around like what makes Syft different and what value it can add. We like to go down to transactional level in Syft, which means you can actually see your general ledger from FreeAgent's in Syft. And pretty cool, actually, Gem and Swantje yesterday deployed that new functionality to have the underlying general ledger from free agent pulls through into Syft. So everything is down to the underlying GL, and you can see make up those movements. And awesome work with the free agent team that actually rolled out that functionality for us to allow us to do that reporting within Syft. Consolidated reporting, maybe one or two clients might need groups of free agent entities grouped together. So that's a big thing you can do in Syft. We've got connections for both Excel and Google Sheets. I mean, the founding of Syft was around moving away from Excel. However, if you can't beat them, join them. Spreadsheet tools are still probably the most powerful softwares out there. So we definitely see ourselves collaborating with spreadsheets, and we've got both the data in and data out between, let's say, free agent to Syft, to Google Sheets, and to Excel, pushing and pulling data from both. Mobile friendly, Syft Campus, we'll show you that a little bit later on, but lots of online learning that you can dive into to learn Syft, not just Syft as a tool, but also general accounting concepts. And then we very secure SOC 2, which is an US independent audit of our security systems. So we now have just a little bit of background from Gem on free agent. So I'll hand over to Gem to tackle that one. Oh, no, sorry. Maybe I've mixed this up. Seems like your slide has disappeared here, Gem. Oh, there we go. There it is.
There we go.
Somehow I skipped through that. So
that's
it seems like
fine.
you were in. Cool, go for it.
No worries. So to give you a bit of background on Free Agent, if you haven't heard of us already, we are a bookkeeping software company. We traditionally kind of worked with the smaller end of the market, so those really kind of micro businesses. But what we can see happening now is it's becoming a much better tool for slightly larger businesses and practices of all sizes as well. So when this integration was set up, I kind of personally anticipated that those really large practices would really want to utilize Syft and Free Agent together. But actually what we're seeing is a lot of smaller practices now, new bookkeepers, for example, who are maybe like one-man bands, they're really finding benefits in this as well, which is always lovely to see. We also have like an excellent support team who I love to shout about because they're just so helpful. They're so knowledgeable in what they do. We've got a great mobile app, and we're also owned by NatWest. So for all clients banking with NatWest, RBS or Ulster or Metal, which is their online challenger bank, they all get Free Agent for free, which we love to see. We are MTD compatible if MTD comes into play, and we have won some really lovely kind of community awards as well. So last year we took home a couple of Luca awards at the ICB Summit, and we're hoping to take some more home again. We often get recognised as really friendly, easy to use software, so it just makes it really accessible for your clients and just gives your clients a bit more financial autonomy, which I really love to see. You know, they're able to interpret what's going on in their finances, and then when you use Free Agent alongside a tool like Syft, it allows you to just provide that extra level of kind of expert insights. So that's what we're there for, and that's what we do. A little bit about us.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, appreciate the oversight. And I see we do have a comment from Nick, a huge fan of both Syft and Free Agent, from a larger practice, and rolling out Syft as we go as a tool for reporting. So nice. That's excited to hear, Nick, if you have tried integrating some of your Free Agent clients. But yeah, let us know, and hoping it's smooth sailing. It will be, and we'll also demo a bit of that today.
Yeah, and actually the big shout out gets to Nick, because like the whole history of Free Agent and Syft was really kickstarted that I received a message from Tony via LinkedIn and said like, hey Swantje, I think we need to talk. So we were kind of like in discussion, or we met each other, but it really, Nick kicked it off. I think that asked Tony to, please engage with us just to really get an integration going. That was in February 2024. And now within 6 months, we really kicked it off, and now we're live. So it's really impressive what the guys in the background have done, the engineering team, how they really pulled it off. So, but thanks, Nick. You actually started it from the beginning. So thank you.
Absolutely huge.
Awesome.
Props to Nick. And also I will say, like, what we're seeing as well is that the clients that we've got, practice clients that we've got integrating with Syft and Free Agent, they're really like paving the way and able to offer that lovely value to their clients. So although it's maybe felt like a long time coming, because I know that we were pushing that for, like you say, the last 6 months, which it doesn't feel like that long, but although it's been kind of maybe a long time coming, it's just such a great valued connection there, which is lovely to see.
Awesome. I think it's maybe one last slide, guys, before we dive into that demo. I know you're probably keen to see a little bit more around what free agents on Syft looks like. I think this just gives like a nice sort of final slide on like key areas that Syft will look at: consolidations, forecasting, KPIs, and there is a review tool, but we won't talk in too much detail on that today. So I think it's worth diving into the demo just to show you a little bit more around what your clients on Free Agent will look like on Syft. So let's head on over, and I'm just going to make that full screen. So this is actually a Free Agent entity. I've gone ahead and we've sort of turned our Syft dashboard into Free Agent colors, just to give it a little bit more of a familiar feel. And we're putting through a whole lot of data into this dashboard, so we can start to visualize our accounting data, and that really helps simplify it for our business clients that maybe aren't accountants and need something that is a little bit more visual. So quite a bit of functionality when you land in Syft. I'd say, just to kind of give you a high-level overview, at the top you've got this date range selector that's quite flexible, going down to weekly and daily date ranges, and that was probably most exciting working with the Free Agent engineering team, is that they were able to build out more functionality to the gateway that we connect to Free Agent to allow us to pull data down to the daily level. So if you do need reporting on a daily or weekly basis for certain clients, we have that structure now built in. Other than that, you've got some organizational type settings in the top left. You can connect more of your Free Agent entities top right, just hitting add entity. And then once connected, you'll have all of your entities in this little drop-down selector. The tool set below that drop-down selector really helps you sort of hone in on that specific client. So as we sort of work through, we can look at a variety of different like features and tools available for this specific Free Agent client. I guess the end product of Syft is really building a report. So what we want to do is take a lot of this data that we taking from Free Agent, and we're visualizing and we're building KPIs from, and P&Ls, etc., and putting it all together into a single report that we can deliver to our clients. Maybe it's every month or every quarter, showing them how their business has performed. So what we can do is, I'll go through some of the features, but I thought worth us just diving straight into that report, and I'm going to share it with everyone for you to take a look. So kind of a different way to demo this is the end product of Syft is something we call a live view. And I'm going to go ahead and just post that into the chat for everyone to interact with. So jump into live view. You can join me here, and I'm actually going to post a comment on the right-hand side. So PDF's great, guys, but again, it's static, and if we want to collaborate in the same space, it's nice to be in this sort of single area. So this is a live view, meaning it's like a hosted URL. You can share this directly with your clients. You've got navigation down the left, comments down the right, and we also did a Free Agent theme. So it won't have, like on your side, you can use the Syft theme. We can do a practice theme. We thought for this demo, we'll do a Free Agent theme, and we do things like automated commentary for reports, a financial health score. This is a great scorecard that could be a one-page oversight for your business clients on their performance. Going a little bit further down, lots of visualizations. And again, all of this is kind of out the box. You don't have to do too much setup to take your Free Agent data and get it into this format. To be honest, guys, I didn't do anything in Syft. I literally just clicked run reports on this data set, didn't do any setup, and I had these graphs sort of built for me with a bit of commentary as well. Not the best data in my Free Agent demo company. It's a little bit sparse, but I think you get the point. The benefit, again, this over PDF is a little bit more interaction. So I can actually see the sort of top. Unfortunately, there's a 0 in that one, so not the best. Let's maybe hover over this one and see what the top transactions are. And we can see which invoices made that up for that period. Nice to see everyone sort of joining up at the top. If you do have a Syft account like Swantje, I can actually see, okay, it's Swantje that's viewing it. and we can always still download this report to PDF at the end of the day. So that maybe just gives you something a little bit more interactive from a webinar perspective. The comments are probably one of my favorites. You can actually upload videos or docs or even images into the right-hand side. And we've seen really cool ways that accountants have used this tool to collaborate with their clients, not just in an email type chain, but everything in this hosted view. And this data is for September, but it could automatically roll over to October for you if you like. On, let's say, the 10th of November, let the data automatically roll over to October, so that when my client logs back into the same URL, they're seeing that data. Perfect. So I'll head back over to Syft, keep playing around to give you a sense of what you can add on top of what you're getting in FreeAgent's. Again, lots of visualizations. I really do like the financial health score. It's a great like one pager. You can customize the KPIs for your client. Maybe maybe cost of goods sold is a big part of their business. So things like GP margins are important. Non-financial data. So they might have, maybe they're a website and things like website visitors are important for them. You can actually start to add non-financial data to Syft to report on with those clients as well. I don't know, Gem, Swantje, I mean, I've talked a lot. Sorry, maybe gone down a bit of a monologue there. If you guys want to jump in and add anything as we go.
No, I don't have anything in particular to add. I mean, I just think it's great how accessible the data is. And what I really love is like, I know you mentioned it before, but Syft really goes into a granular kind of level of information for us, which is really great. When you're looking at clients maybe looking for additional funding, or you know, their business is in a place where they want to grow and they need to figure out how to do that, having it in such an accessible way for them to understand is so key, because we see so often that small business clients, or business clients in general, they find these kind of things hard to digest. And I just love how easy it makes it to kind of take it in. Because I mean, I'm not an accountant, and I'm like nowhere near an accountant in my level of kind of financial knowledge. And even I find it, you know, really easy to follow, really easy to digest. And it just pairs up with FreeAgent's kind of ethos really nicely. You know, you've got software that they find easy to use and that they want to log in and get used to every day. And then they are able to kind of digest all the information that comes from that. It's just a lovely pairing, really.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I really
it.
love that.
Think,
it's just so,
sorry, go for it, Swantje.
You know, yeah. I really love that. Only connecting your entity to Syft already gives you all that data. So you don't need to implement it. You don't need to set it up. You don't need to customize it. So everything just comes within, I mean, seconds into Syft. So even if you're not tech savvy, you just go in and you have that info straight away available.
Agreed. I've done nothing. So I connected this entity a few hours ago. If bottom left, you're actually seeing this refresh data. If we'll refresh data automatically with FreeAgent's every 24 hours. But if you've made a change recently in that client's books, you can always go and just click that little refresh data button and it will pull the latest data through. Now, just to illustrate that again, like all of these are done for you. All I did to run that report was I headed over to reports. I scrolled down to this business overview report and I clicked on live view. It generated that live view for me without me having to go and do a whole lot of setup for that client. So created it, and that was as simple as it was to generate that live view without that need for sort of building out complex things within Syft, which is still possible. But for most of our smaller clients, you know, the ability to run 10 of these reports in a few minutes is important. And maybe for one bigger client, you want to go into Syft and customize the look and feel of the P&L and the balance sheet. But for a lot of our smaller clients, I think the ability to run a report in 1 minute makes a lot more sense. Perfect. Yeah, so I'll head back over. Yeah, go for it, Swantje.
Just mention there's actually a great shout out from Nick as well on kind of his view and use case of Syft. I don't know, Ben, whether you want to read it, but it's actually a great use case. So Nick says, as a practice, we found that once staff get used to the system, the workings are quite easy to set up and then rolling forward in a couple of buttons. Our management and year-end meetings are greatly improved from an engagement point of view. In our trial period, we have found an improvement in client relations and increased fees. The bonus as well, it is a great way for trainees to understand what the numbers mean and positioning in accounts. So really great. So thanks, Nick. Always good that look, somebody else talks from his experience, and it's, you know, not only us who rave about Syft or FreeAgent.
Definitely. I think as well how automated this is, and how it really does just allow you to save so much time in terms of interpreting data and putting together reports. It's just so helpful. And as we all know, like, the more time you save, the more clients you can work with, or, you know, you're able to offer more advisory services. So yeah, it's just lovely. It's lovely to see how easy something can be to use, when if it was me thinking about trying to do any of this kind of manually or in any other way, it just feels like it would be a big headache. So yeah, the ROI here is just so clear.
Appreciate it. I think quick and easy, I think that's the name of the game, and you can evolve from there. You know, I think there's different ways, Gem, we've seen practices use Syft. One would be to actually monetize the report pack and charge for it. But with a lot of your smaller clients, it's nice to deliver a pack that just evidences that the bookkeeping's been done, the VAT's been filed. It doesn't have to be something that's always charged for, like that report we saw earlier. Nice to give this out, maybe a simple one once a quarter. And then if your clients want it more often and with more detail, you can always then look at charging for it. So there are different ways to think around like Syft is offering into the client base.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a webinar at FreeAgent recently where we were talking about pricing. And actually, I mean, I say we were talking about pricing. What we were really talking about is kind of value that you can offer to your clients, and, you know, for the price you pay, I guess. So it was pricing. But it's just so interesting, because I do feel like something like this offers just that extra level of security, that extra level of trust. So you're right, even if you're not monetizing the use of Syft directly, there's other ways that you can just make sure that you're getting more out of your clients. And also, I think allowing them to kind of look at this kind of data just really demonstrates, I don't know, that value of an accountant or bookkeeper, and how important they can be to a business in making good financial decisions. So yeah, I think the options are just kind of endless, whether you're kind of starting out as in practice, or maybe you're really well established and you're looking to just add that extra layer of value. It's really nice to see.
Fully agree. I'll head back over to Syft and maybe just talk around some sort of features that I love. I mean, the extensive tool set, again, you can't break anything. We don't push data back to FreeAgent. So everything will sit in Syft. So we're not going to post something into FreeAgent and adjust your books. It's all based on what is in Syft. So really, really like the dashboard and the health scores. This is one of my favorite graphs, is just income versus expenses. And this is actually the first graph we built when we started Syft. But again, everything is clickable. So why are my income up in June, for example? I can actually click on that, drill down into the general ledger and see, okay, cool, I had quite a few invoices going through in that period. KPIs, I think nice to be able to run these accounts, but things like net margin, gross margin, so a whole lot of your typical accounting ratios built out for you. And then cash, whether it's cash in and cash out, looking at what's actually happening with the various bank accounts is pretty cool. But we're all pretty familiar with P&Ls and balance sheets, so let's dive into some of that functionality. Again, I don't have the best data in my demo company, but you can click on things, you can show different periods, so the flexibility from a period perspective is quite extensive. And then you can think of this build P&L as completely custom columns and layouts as completely custom rows. So lots of flexibility for those clients that need it. Again, most clients off the bat, you might just want to run the reports and it's good to go. But with your bigger clients, you might want to build custom KPIs, customize the look and feel of the P&L for them.
Or even build out, just wanted to mention, if you build out a budget in Syft, you can actually compare that against budget as well.
100%. So yeah, I think a great one to highlight is that there is a budgeting tool in Syft where you can build out budgets and then compare to actuals under your P&L. So nice way to provide those comparatives. Other than that, maybe the benchmarking tool, something cool to show. Hopefully I've classified my entity, but let's go and put it in accounting service. We aggregate and anonymize data on Syft. So all the entities in the UK that classify their industry will actually serve you benchmarks on your peers, or if you've got a coffee shop client, we'll serve you some benchmarks for that coffee shop within the UK, so you can see, okay, cool, what's median revenue or median sales, and nice to also visualize that over time. So something that's a little bit different to typical management reporting. Other than that, a little bit on forecasting. Two types of tools. I'm not going to go too deep here. There's a short-term cash management tool and a longer-term four-way forecast, which connects the P&L, balance sheet, and cash flow statements together. So a little bit of functionality there if you need some more forecasting for your clients. Maybe that's more ad hoc. You might only need that for one or two clients, but not every client in your portfolio you will be forecasting for. And I kind of touched on it earlier, but you can bring in non-financial data to Syft. So we will be integrating with various payroll tools in the UK. At the moment, it's more around connecting things like Google Sheets, Zapier, or manually inputting data into Syft. So you can create sort of custom KPIs that you then visualize, report on, and use in various equations. The best way to use this, however, is with our Syft in Sheets and Syft in Excel connector tool, where we actually have a plugin for both Excel and Google Sheets to allow you to push data in and pull data out of Syft. So this is actually my P&L data that I've extracted, but I could also push data into Syft, whether that's non-financial data. I can actually push that through into Syft so that we can visualize it. Cool. I'm going to head back over to Syft, maybe one or two other things to highlight. So reporting is that real end product. We've already seen that live view a little bit earlier on, so we can run some of our pre-built reports or build some templates. And something I really like as someone that's been in practice previously is seeing all my clients from like a bird's eye view. So one last nice way to do it is even if they're from separate providers, desktop based, you can actually consolidate all of your clients into kind of this high level bird's eye view of all of your clients, single view, who's doing well, who's running out of money, and who should I have better conversations with. Cool. I think from there, maybe one or two last things to mention. Syft Campus, we're pretty proud of this. We released it around 12 months ago, but it's an online learning platform with tons of courses on Syft, as well as like sort of generic courses that help you get up and running. And then we do have tools like the connector that you can add for both Excel and Google Sheets down the left-hand side. And you can always talk to us, so book in with our calendars or use the sort of live chat bottom right. I don't know if there's further questions, guys, in sort of the Q&A that you maybe want to, and then maybe Swantje and Gem, if there's anything specific that's catching your eye in Syft that you kind of want to talk around or things to look at.
Go ahead, Swantje.
So I don't see any questions for now. Maybe if we have time, I'm not sure how much time we have. I know there was a relatively good demand on consolidation, on how you would consolidate those entities. And Gem, maybe you know a bit better, but how many franchises you have or how much that would be required. But for example, another practice of you, Neil, I think from Danbury, they specifically were looking for this for their clients or free agent clients. And obviously Syft helped them on that side quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. From my point of view, that was the only other thing I was going to kind of mention as well was I think it's just so lovely to be able to see how well this can work across a variety of clients. But that consolidation piece is really excellent. It's something that free agent, I mean, it's not that free agent don't have reporting, and we do, and absolutely sometimes that works really well and that is all you need. However, I would say that if you're kind of not knowing what else is out there and how else you can work, then you're kind of pigeonholing yourself in terms of diversifying your client base. So either diversifying it in a way of trying to take on more clients and, you know, make more money, or maybe you just want to work with different types of clients. And I think this is a really good way of being able to kind of get an overview of that. Because what you find is both Syft and Free Agent are great for such a variety, you know, such a lot of use cases here. And yeah, what we found is those franchise clients in particular really make use of something like Syft alongside Free Agent, because they maybe just don't need all the bells and whistles that come along with something like Xero, which is fine. We know who we're good for and we like to stick in it. And then Syft adds that extra layer for us, which is really great.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I mean, and I'm happy to maybe show the consolidations if you guys would like to see how easy it is to combine a few entities on Syft. And I think it's nice that we can plug, like if you are needing something, probably we could cover a lot of that extra functionality you may require. Again, I like to describe it as FreeAgent's is like sort of the iPhone, and you don't really want to build everything. Well, let's say Apple doesn't really want to build every app for the iPhone, and that's why there is sort of the apps that come and plug that functionality gap where we as the app can kind of take care of some things that Apple aren't going to build, and Apple in this case being sort of FreeAgent. So nice to look to us for that. So I'll go build a consolidation just to show everyone how that's done, but you sort of add.
I think that's so true just about the apps. Sorry, I was just going to say, I think that's so true about the apps, is that's the thing with all these integrations, is it's just about knowing kind of who you want to look after, and then understand the kind of peaks and troughs of the softwares that you're using. It's okay for every software not to be able to do everything that you want, and that's why we set up really good partnerships with others in the industry, because we are a very well served industry in terms of software that works for financial industries. So yeah, it's all about just kind of, you know, knowing who you want to work with, know your clients, and then you know, put your trust in a few softwares that are going to do all the things that you want them to do. And we're fine with not doing all the reporting, because I would rather integrate really well with someone like Syft who knows the ins and outs of it, than try to do something that you know might not work for your clients. But sorry, go ahead with your consolidation. Just wanted to say that.
Perfect. Yeah, fully agree on that, Gem. And I think I'll build it out quick, but we definitely get into a deeper Q&A. I think there is one from Gordon that we can dive into as well. What's cool is you could also connect, if you've got your clients access to like their Shopify store, you could bring that in. But let's build a quick consolidation, and we'll just add 2 entities. You can do multi-currency as well. However, up to you. For this case, I'm just going to go UK, 3 UK entities, acquisition and disposal dates. And once you've sort of combined them, we're actually going to sum up all of those numbers. So what's great is it's still down to the transactional level. So you can always still go down to a transactional level. We'll auto group accounts with the same name together across. So if your chart of accounts is similar, we'll group those. And then you've got quite a bit of functionality from a P&L perspective, whether it's multi-entity, and if you've done any intergroup eliminations, we can also show you an elimination column, but that's entity 1, 2, and 3, and then your summed up group. So great tool from that perspective. And yeah, I think we are one of the best when it comes to group reporting, if it is something you need. Maybe just, I see there is a question from Gordon, and maybe we can answer this one live. So Gordon asks, it's a P&L overview, some bank balances, KPIs, such as gross profit margin, net profit margin, and debtors days, as well as a summary of business taxes due and forecasts. Can Syft be used to automate the preparation of this report? Definitely, Gordon. So we could use a P&L like this, and we could add this to a P&L template. We could go and we could get the sort of cash balance graph, and we could add this to the templates, whether you want it to be all of the accounts, specific accounts, and we can sort of add this to the templates. And then from a KPI perspective, we've got a few options. There's a pre-built KPI report that does have things like GP margin, net margin, debtors days, and we could add this. We could also delete various KPIs that aren't relevant. From a business tax perspective, what you could do is maybe build a KPI for that, whether you build a KPI in the profit and loss, so we can actually go and automate income tax calculation using an equation in our P&L, and maybe that's how we can sort of use that to sort of predict tax owing. We could also do an equation that maybe divides that tax by the number of months and then projects it for the full financial year. So definitely possible from that perspective as well. Cool. So that's pretty much a high level of Syft. It's, again, I don't want to go into maybe too much detail. I think it might we might go too deep, and just wanted to give you a little bit of a snapshot, but worth playing around, jumping in. What I'll do is perhaps just share a link to try Syft. If you are keen to do a 14-day trial, fire it up, check it out, see if connect a few clients and see what their data looks like. And I think always worthwhile just to give you guys a heads up on pricing. So the best part about Syft is we don't bill per client connected. We really want you to bring in all of your free agent clients into Syft, and this is per practice. So you could actually connect 50 clients to Syft, and you're going to be paying £99 per month for unlimited entities, unlimited users. I'd say most of the functionality we covered today would be on the essential plan, so £99 per month. The professional plan also recommended. It's our most popular, but that will have some more of, like, we'll do a bespoke theme for your practice, like that free agent theme. We'll do custom colors, and it's got the more advanced forecasting. But to be honest, most of what we showed today is in that essential plan, so quite affordable for most practices. There are a few add-ons. I would say maybe the connector, but to be honest, Essentials is the perfect place to start and then grow from there.
It's nice to see as well, because I do think £99 per month is affordable. And obviously at the moment, so many business clients are thinking about kind of cost of living, and you can build this into your pricing is what I would always recommend doing. It's what we recommend with Free Agent if you're paying for a license, but obviously a lot of the time clients will be using Free Agent for free with that NatWest connection. So this, if you're building in as part of your everyday practice, then it becomes a bit of a no-brainer, because it really will pay for itself in terms of the amount of money your clients are going to be able to save and the extra value you're going to be able to offer them. So it's always lovely to be so transparent about pricing, but I always think, cost is what you pay, but like value is what you get out of it. And it really is a bit of a no-brainer. If you're already dealing with clients on an accounting software, this is just going to really help to automate your processes.
Yeah. I mean, for the ones who really want to start small, we offer per entity billing as well. So you could start off with 1 or 2 clients and just mix it up from there. But yeah.
100%. And again, different ways to look at it. Your bigger clients will be willing to pay for reports. I remember I had one client that was paying sort of £250 a month for their reports, but they were like a big entity, sort of probably doing like £5 million turnover. This is in Rand, but I'm just converting it per year. So they had board meetings and they were happy to pay that. Whereas even if you get one client to sort of cover the cost of these plans, you can actually then give it for free to your other clients as like a value add. Evidences bookkeeping's been done, and it's just something extra that they're getting from you. It does start extra conversations and lead to other things down the line.
It's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Because if you have something like Syft, then you can kind of, I don't want to say prove what's going into it all, but you can help them understand how much goes into being their accountant and how much that relationship is really valuable. But if you don't have that ability to kind of make it digestible, make it understandable for them, then it's hard to justify the cost. So I would definitely agree that putting a couple of clients on in the first place and seeing how you get on and seeing what value you get from that is a really great place to start. And I always say with Free Agent, like, if we're not a good fit for your clients, that's fine. We can all walk away and we'll still be friends. But usually what we see is, accountants and bookkeepers will put clients onto Free Agent and they'll immediately realize that it's the way to go, and that, for example, paper-based systems or Excel is just not, you can't really go back to it. So yeah, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and definitely give it a go.
Awesome. Agreed. And yeah, try it out. We do have a team that can guide you through it and jump on a personalized demo for you. I do see a question coming through from Nick. Perfect. So Nick, you can't, I think it's connecting one client by one client currently from a Free Agent perspective. So you need to cycle through and connect them one by one. We don't have a bulk connect to connect all your Free Agent clients in one go. So it does take sort of like 30 seconds per client to go through that process. So it will be a little bit manual, but once they're on, you can share access with other users and you're good to go. So it's a one-time process.
Also, just to say, if you're using, oh, sorry, Swantje, but I was just going
to
say,
no.
If you're using other accounting softwares, certainly at FreeAgent, we don't shy away from you using, Xero, QuickBooks. Please do. If they're good for your clients, you should be using the software that works for your clients. So hopefully having something like Syft will allow you to, still engage with your Xeros and your QuickBooks and your FreeAgent's, but under one platform, which can be a really nice way to look at things as well. So yeah, just to point that out, in case if you're someone who uses 2 or 3 different accounting software tools, which is generally what we see, then try and choose one reporting kind of software like Syft that encapsulates all of those, is what I would recommend.
You can then standardize reporting across all accounting providers, and that oversight tab, you'll actually see your FreeAgent, QuickBooks, and Xero clients in one view, which is quite cool from a practice management and a staff management perspective.
Yeah.
There is another question on pricing. Cool.
Yeah.
Per entity pricing, starts at £15 per month. That means per client file. If you want to go unlimited clients, the per practice pricing, that starts at £99 per month, just to try clarify that. Oh, we do have a promo.
You can always change into another plan here. So it's like easy to upgrade if you feel like it.
We forgot about this, Swantje, but
the promo code. Huh?
Yeah, the promo. Winning. We thought maybe for especially if you are new to Syft, it's if you do want to sign up to Syft, we've got 30% off for 6 months if you sign up before the end of December. So that would bring it down from £99 to £69 for unlimited entities. The code is actually FreeAgent 2023. So I'm going to post that in the chat if you like it. Take that promo code down. If you sign up to Syft with it, you can use that promo code to get 30% off for 6 months. It's only valid on our monthly plans. So there are annual plans that are already a bit cheaper, but check that out. And we do have a poll that we could launch if you want us to get in contact with you. I'll launch it. It's if you want us to contact you, or if you would like FreeAgent to contact you, because we do have a mix of accountants on today, some on FreeAgents, others not. So I'll just launch that poll. Any other questions, guys? I think we've got 2 minutes left. I thought I'd go with not right now instead of an outright no, just a little bit more positive on that.
Soften the blow a little bit, why don't you?
Yeah. But it looks FreeAgent is winning. You win.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, there's always no harm in getting a demo, okay? So I just think it is your responsibility to your clients to know what software is best for them. So there's never any harm in reaching out, having a look at the software, and if it doesn't work for you, like I say, we won't be offended, but yeah, it's always good to know what's out there. So please do get in touch, and we'll be happy to take you through the software.
Really agree. There is a question for the slides. We don't know we're not going to send it out to everyone. If you do want to request it, send us an email and we can get those over to you. We typically don't send them out, but we will have the recording and we do have the slides. So if it is something you need, just shoot us an email and we can send those over to you. Cool. I think we're on time. So yeah, great to have everyone on. Looking forward
so much for having me.
Yeah, 100%, Jenny. I really enjoyed it.
That's lovely. Great fun.
Thanks for jumping on.
Swantje's in the UK next week, so if you do get a chance to catch up with her, she'll be flying in. So hopefully we do see a few more of our attendees in person, not just virtually. Cool. Go well, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Ciao.
Cheers.